It was a night like any other when I found myself alone on Hollow Road, a desolate stretch of highway winding through dense woods. The darkness outside seemed thicker than usual, and the incessant sound of rain tapping on my windshield made my nerves tingle with unease. I was driving back from a friend's place, and the empty road stretched out before me like an eerie abyss. As I continued on, my headlights flickered, making my heart skip a beat. "Come on, not now," I muttered, hoping they wouldn't fail me. But just as I feared, the lights went out, plunging me into complete darkness. I gripped the steering wheel, trying to stay calm, and coasted to the side of the road. My mind raced as I tried to figure out what had happened. I grabbed my phone to call for help, but the screen showed no signal. My heart sank, realizing that I was stranded in the middle of nowhere with no way to contact anyone. I took a deep breath and decided to step out of the car to check the engine, hoping it was just a minor issue. The moment I stepped outside, an icy wind whipped through the air, chilling me to the bone. The rain had stopped, and the silence was deafening. The only sounds were the echoes of my footsteps as I made my way to the front of the car. The engine seemed fine from what I could tell, but I knew next to nothing about cars, and my mind raced with worry. As I stood there, the feeling of being watched returned. I glanced around, but the darkness swallowed everything. My heart pounded and a cold sweat trickled down my back. Trying to shake off the unease, I decided to go back to the car and wait for another vehicle to pass by, hoping they would offer help. Minutes turned into what felt like hours, but no other car appeared. Panic set in as I realized the isolation of my situation. Hollow Road lived up to its name, void of life and light. My imagination started to play tricks on me as shadows danced in the distance, and every rustling leaf seemed like a lurking threat. Just as I was about to give up hope, a faint glimmer caught my eye. Far down the road, there was a dim light, flickering like a dying candle. Relief washed over me, and I felt a renewed sense of hope. Someone must be coming to help. A chill ran down my spine as the realization hit me. This wasn't a passerby coming to my aid. It was something else entirely. Fear gripped me, and I stumbled backward, my mind torn between fleeing and staying put. But my car was broken down, and the figure was getting closer with each step. Frozen in place, I watched as the figure drew near, and the lantern's flickering light revealed a haunting visage. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and a malevolent smile stretched across its face. My instincts screamed at me to run, but I was paralyzed with terror. "Lost soul," the figure whispered, its voice chilling me to the core. "You've stumbled into my domain." I couldn't find my voice, couldn't form a coherent thought. My mind was a jumble of fear and confusion. Was this a spirit, a ghostly guardian of Hollow Road, or something much darker? As the figure loomed over me, the air grew colder, and the world around us seemed to distort. Reality shifted, and the woods themselves appeared to close in. Panic surged within me as I realized that this entity was more than just a mere apparition. It had power over the very fabric of the night. In a desperate attempt to escape, I turned and ran back to my car, praying it would start miraculously. But as I reached for the door handle, the figure's hand shot out and grasped my shoulder with an icy grip. "You cannot leave!" it hissed, and its grip tightened like a vice. My heart pounded in my chest as I struggled against its grasp, but it was futile. I was trapped at the mercy of this malevolent presence. My mind raced, and I realized that I had stumbled upon something beyond comprehension, a being that fed on the fear of those who dared venture into its domain. In the suffocating darkness of Hollow Road, I was left to face my deepest fears. Every haunting memory, every suppressed nightmare rose to the surface, feeding the insatiable hunger of the entity that held me captive. As the night wore on, I lost all track of time. The figure seemed to draw power from my terror, and I was trapped in an unending nightmare. My mind and body were on the brink of collapse, and I feared that I would never escape the clutches of the haunting of Hollow Road. To this day, I shudder at the thought of driving on a secluded, dark road at night. The memory of that harrowing night on Hollow Road is etched into my very soul, a reminder that there are things in the darkness that defy explanation, things that should never be disturbed. If you ever find yourself driving on a desolate stretch of road, Beware of the unknown, for the horrors that lie in wait may be far beyond your worst nightmares.